Good morning. We'll start regarding the beams. So this is being the module 5 of our last unit of the design of steel structures. See, beams are generally, these are transverse or laterally supported on some horizontal or vertical loads. These beams transfer due to simple bending shear and double bending shear due to symmetrical I sections. There are various amount of sections due to beam. When the load acts from the center of that point, there will be when the load acts center of the point, there will be a shear center maximum at this point when compared to I section, where compared to where here the neutral axis. This is the neutral axis acting at this point. So whatever the amount of shear has been come, only acts at this place. So whenever the load is acting uniformly from the transverse load, there results in the formation of buckling takes place here. This buckling results into the failure of the columns with respect to the shear center or transverse failure. So in these sections only, there are various under sections. There's some with related to I section, T sections, and with related to beams. So we have different classification of beams like secondary beams, girder, joist, lintels. This you can see that lintel is a common beam where you can see in your homes and residential areas, which carries about the doors and windows area. So lintel is usually a very common phenomena will takes place. And there are different types of beam also like compound section, composite sections, encased beam, casted beams. There are like rolled I section, compound beams. So these are all beams with respect to the based upon the symmetrical section and where it depends upon the rolled steel and it also depends upon the bending criteria also. So some of the theory part is there already been discussed here. See how this loading takes place. I will just how this loading takes place. Whenever this beam is acting at the center of the point, there is load transfers, and here is the I section. Once the load is acting from the I section, there will be small amount of displacements at this point. When there is a displacement at this point, the displacement at this point suddenly, whenever you apply the maximum load takes place, which increases the yield criteria, and automatically they results into the formation of buckling. Since this buckling takes place, there is a large amount of failure in the structures. So during this phenomena, there are different types of beam like main beam, secondary beams, wide flange. So these are all very important factors. These are the factors leading to lateral stability, that beam cross section, support conditions, loading type and its positions. Section classification we'll discuss in this detail. Just we'll move on to the problems now. This is beams. So in beams, if you need to go to page number 52 to 69 of IS 800/2007 to calculate the beams. If you have code book in front of you, you can just open it and check it. So first we'll go undergo what are the design steps with respect to laterally supported beams. See, laterally supported beams are nothing but the beams where it is resting on some slab. If the slab is rested on it, then it becomes a lateral supported beams. If the slab is being restrained, if the beam is being restrained, then it is known as laterally unsupported beams. This is only the basic difference you will find in the problems based on laterally supported and laterally unsupported. Laterally supported beams, slab rests on it. In the non-laterally supported, slab doesn't rest on it. So limit state of design of steel beams. For flexure, you need to go to clause 8.2 IS 800/2007. The factor design moment at section due to external load shall satisfy moment less than or equal to design moment. So this is the design bending strength which is being calculated. The factored design forces VU. This is nothing but VU, not V only. This is nothing but factored shear force. This is also factored bending moment. So it is less than 0.6 times of design shear. क्लास तो क्या कर रहे हो? So now we need to go at case 1 when V is less than 0.6 VD. There is a formula in this basically MD is equal to BP ZP Fi by gamma m naught. See, this is BP is nothing but it is this is beta times of B. This is not BP. It's the beta times of based on B. For plastic section it is 1. For semi-compact section and other section is different. Generally we design a beam for plastic section initially. For this for simply supported. This is for cantilever beams. See, for semi-compact section, it is ZE by ZP. Rarely we come across the semi-compact section, but these also values range in between 1 or 2 only. It doesn't go more than 1.3, 1.3, 1.4, something like that. But generally, we design our beams based on plastic sections. When B is greater than 0.6 VD, MD is greater is equal to MDV. So, design bending strength under high shear has defined as class 9.2. Plastic or compact section is MD minus beta times of MD minus, this is FD is nothing but factored design shear force. So this is based upon strength design. So this beta times of V is 2V by VD minus 1 raised to square. See this, you no need to remember this formula. All the formulas are given in code book. Just you need to remember the page number from 52 to 69. If you go through these page numbers, once you glance in it, definitely you can remember this formula, and these designs are also very simple. Steps are little bit you see that steps are little bit longer, but there's no need to just get in dilemma that whether we need to solve these problems or not. Just you need to understand the steps on what the criteria, what steps needs to be considered. See, for I section and channel section, major axis bending is H into TW, welded is D into TW. Resistance to shear buckling is from page number 59, we can take D by TW is greater than 67 times of epsilon naught. Then D by TW is greater than 67 times of epsilon naught kV by 5.35. See, epsilon naught we generally take for shear bending coefficient as 250 by Fi. Fi is nothing but 250. Then shear buckling design, we have simple post-critical method that Vn by gamma m naught is equal to Vcr by gamma m naught. So Vcr is equal to Av into tau b. So when tension field method, see tension field method is not being used nowadays. Directly we are taking only buckling criteria. Once you satisfy the buckling and torsion failure, automatically the tension criteria also satisfied. But as the steel is being, nowadays there is a rebar section. So earlier plain sections were used in steel. So that is why they were using tension field method. But nowadays rebar has been considered in our day-to-day life in our construction criteria also. So I don't think that there is required for tension field method. So many books have been avoided this type of field methods. So VD is equal to Fi by root 3 dW TW by gamma m naught. This is AV actually. This is once you type AV, it is D into TW. If the ratio is too large, web is too slender, the web may buckle either elastically or inelastically. When the shear capacity of beam is exceeded, shear failure occurs. By excessive shear, yielding cross area of the web also takes place. So this is all shear supports. Whatever shear is being output based upon the buckling area and shear stress area and shear yielding area also. So this all depends upon the buckling failure criteria. So once we, for I beams, D by TW is less than 67 times of epsilon naught. So this is all about our steps. So when we come to the problem, we'll discuss one or two problems, but the problems will be very specifically for you to understand it. The internal dimension of a hall measures 8.5 meter into 14 meter. The concrete roof slab thickness is 120 mm, supported by 300 mm thick wall all around. The slab rests on I-beam equally spaced 3.5 meter apart and spanning along shorter direction of a hall as shown in figure. Design the beam if the live load is 3 kN per meter square and finishing load is 1 kN per meter square. See here what it has given. It has given the dimensional area. It has given the concrete slab thickness. See, here only you can identify whether it is laterally supported or laterally unsupported. When you have concrete roof slab thickness, then it becomes automatically laterally supported only. Since the slab is resting on the beam is laterally restrained or supported. It is known as laterally supported beams. See, estimation of UDL of I beam is working load you have 0.12 into 1 into 0.12 into 1 into 3.5, 0.12. This one panel section you need to consider, not the whole section. This figure will be given, you need to consider with respect to the panel sections only. So the self weight of the beam will be 0.12 into 1 into 3.5 into 25 is our unit weight of concrete. So finishing load on beam is 1 into 3.5 into 1. So 3.5 is our panel thickness, 3.50. The self weight of I beam is 0.75. So live load on the beam is 1 into 3.5 into 3. 3 kilometer we have taken as a live load. Don't confuse it with how 3 kilometers come. As per the IS codes, IS 456, 3 kilometers. The total overall load is 10.50. 10.5 into 1.5 is 25.25 kilonewton. Sorry, this is total load. Addition of this 10.5, 3.5. So all together it becomes 25.25. So W will be 25.25 into 1.5. Now estimation of factored shear force and bending moment. Effective span of simply supported beam is clear span plus bearing length of beam. So clear span is nothing but our this span 8.5 plus bearing wall 0.23 by 2, 0.23 by 2. So 0.3, sorry, that is 0.3, 0.3 by 2 and 0.3 by 2. So that is effective length is 8.80 meter. So factored shear force is support reaction. Factored shear force at the end is equal to support reaction. Du is equal to WLE by 2. W is equal to 37.875 into 8.80 divided 2. So your VU will be 166.65. Factor maximum bending moment at mid span is WL square by 8. So 37.875 into 8.8 square by 8. So 366.63 kilonewton meter. So selection of section. Now the beam is laterally supported. VU is less than 0.6 VD. The section is plastic or semi-compact section. So BP is equal to 1. When you are considering that is a plastic section or semi-compact, you need to consider beta times of B of B is nothing but here beam, that is equal to 1. So MU is equal to MD, beta times of P, ZP, Fi by gamma M naught. So MU you are getting 1 into ZP, Fi by gamma M naught. So ZP will be equal to MU into gamma M naught by Fi. So MU is, we have calculated here, factor total bending moment, that is maximum 366. So 366.63 into 10 to the power of 6 into 1.1 is our gamma M naught partial safety factor, which can be taken from page number 30, table number 5, divided by 250. So ZP is equal to 1613.172 into 10 to the power of 3 mm3. So ZP we have got, required ZP is this much. So finally we can take this section as ISWB. See how you need to find, you need to go for rolled steel beams. In steel tables, you need to go to rolled steel beams. There you need to find breadth of flange, thickness of flange and thickness of web. And this is root radius, everything will be given. This formula we need to consider. B is equal to breadth of flange by 2. So 200 by 2 is nothing but 100 mm. So depth of web is equal to D is equal to D times of 2 times of thickness of flange plus root radius. Thickness of D is 450 minus 2 times of thickness of flange is 15.4 plus root radius is 14. So 391.2 mm. So epsilon naught is 250 by Fi, 250 by 250 is equal to 1. Breadth V by TF is equal to 100 by 15.4. So that is 6.494 less than 9.4. How this 100 has come? Already BF, breadth of flange by 2, 200 by 2 is 100 mm. So now D by TW. So D by TW will be how much? So our D will be 450 minus 2 times of thickness of flange plus root radius. So this is the main criteria. 41.617 less than 84 plus 1 plus R1 should be less than 42 times of P. Either this condition or this condition should satisfy it. Hence the assumption of the plastic section made above is correct. So for I beam 0.75 kilonewton per meter, to convert kilonewton per meter to kg per meter, you need to multiply 0.75 into 101.97, that is 76.453. So actual rate of ISWB is 79.14. So it is okay. More than that, no? So it's okay. So check for shear strength. VU less than 0.6 VD. So VU is 166.65. So AV is equal to D into TW. D into TW Fi by W gamma M naught by root 3. So D is nothing but our 450, thickness of web is 9.4 into Fi by W is 250, 1.10 into root 3. So VD is nothing but 555.04 kilonewton. So 0.6 into VD is 0.6 into 555.04, that is 333.024 kilonewtons. So this completes our shear force diagram, and the section is identified. Check for moment capacity now. D by TW 391.2 by 9.4, 41.617 less than 67. So 41.67 is less than 67. So MD is equal to BP ZP Fi by gamma m naught. So just you need to substitute here. ZP, this ZP is required from skill tables, not your calculated value. This ZP is from skill tables. So MD is greater than MU. It's okay. Now check for deflection. Total working load 25.25 kilonewton per meter, and maximum deflection is 5WL for 384 by EI. So 5 into 255.25 into 88004. So 384 into 2 into 10 to the power of 5, 350, 3507. This is IXX. We have in steel table IXX and IYY. Take the section with respect to IXX or IZZ. It is written IZZ also. So 28.12 is permissible deflection, but we want actual deflection. So effective span by 300 is 29.3 mm. So 28.12 is less than 29.33, so it is safe. So this completes the first problem. So second problem is also same, similar manner. Design a simply supported beam of span 6 meter carrying a UDL of 20 kilonewton per meter and dead load of 20 kilonewton per meter. Imposed load, that is, the beam is wearing a reinforced concrete slab on top. Since the slab is resting on the beam, it is laterally restrained to the beam, so it is known as laterally supported beams. So Fi is 250 MPa, Fu is 410 MPa, span is 6 meter, gamma m naught is 1.1, 1.25. So page number 30, you can find this. So everything load calculation it is given here. Dead load, imposed load, self weight, and total working load 41. Ultimate load is 41.41 into 1.5, so that is 61.5 kilonewton per meter. So MU is WL square by 8, 61.5 into 6 square by 8, that is 276.75 kilonewton meter. So shear force is WL by 2, 61.5 into 6 by 2, 184.5 kilonewtons. So effective span is 0.23 by 2 plus 6 plus 0.23 by 2. So moment resisting, go to this class. It is everything is same here. I have substituted BP in terms of 1, that is plastic section I have taken. So the Z times of P is MU, gamma m naught, Fi. So MU is 276.75, 10 to the power of 6 into 1.1, 250. So depth calculation, see this step you can include in first problem also, L by 12 to L by 14 range values. So I have done it, I have included it. So L by 12 is, it is the range of values, L by 12 to L by 14, nothing but range of values, 6000 by 12 minus 6000 by 14. So 500 to 428. So you can check the section with respect to 450. You can take in between 450 or 500. You can take ISMB, ISMB sections you can consider, or ISWB also. So from steel tables, rolled I beam is page number 138, ISMB 450, ZP is 1533.36. So area is 92.17. If you go to the steel tables, you can find all these sections, RXX, RYY, and root radius also. So B is equal to BF by 2, 150 by 2, 175 mm. So depth of web is D is equal to D minus 2 times of thickness of flange plus root radius. So 385.2 you will get here. Now the section should be plastic. So flange section is B by TF less than 9.4 E. So 75 by 17.4 less than 9.4 into 1. So 4.31 for web to be plastic, D by TW less than 84 epsilon naught. So epsilon naught is nothing but 250 by Fi. 40.97 less than 84, web is plastic. This is the entire section to be plastic section. The webs are to be checked for shear buckling. Check for shear is VU less than 0.6 times of VD. VD is equal to AV, FIW, gamma m naught, root 3. So AV is nothing but D into TW. Depth is what our height, 450, into thickness of web is 9.4 into 250 by 1.1 into root 3. So 0.6 times of VD is 0.6 into 555.04. So VU less than 0.6 VD, hence it is safe. And check for movement capacity also, T by TW, 385.2 by 9.4. So this also is coming safe only. So for movement capacity, this formula is less than for simply supported beams. Already I said in the design. This ZP you need to take from steel tables. Whatever ZP you have got, you need to take from steel tables. So then ZE also you will get from steel tables. So movement from load and capacity of section both are coming under the capacity. See, this is important. Check for web crippling of web. Till now, everything was same. See how the crippling takes place. Like crippling will form at the edges. Crippling will be forming at the edges whenever the load is acting at the uniform rate from the outlet. Whenever the load is acting is simply supported or in a UDL manner. So from the code book we have this formula FW V1 plus N2 TW FIW by gamma M0. So for slope we have considered 1 is to 2.5. 1 is to 2.5 we have taken. So tan theta is R1 plus TF by N2. 1 by 2.5, 15 plus 17.5 by N2. So N2 will get this value as 81.25. So see, this is nothing but we have got from tan theta values. Tan theta root radius plus thickness of flange by N2. In this manner only you calculate. Don't try any trial error methods. You get the answers in a very wrong manner. So check for buckling, as you know that when your load is acting, beams and columns usually fail in buckling. Here buckling is acting at the I sections. So area is B1 plus N1 TW. So FCD is our stress. Stress is load by area. Load is equal to stress into area. FCDW, FCD into B1 plus N1 TW. So this is the beam. This is 150 mm. Total is 300 mm. Acting at an angle of 45 degree. This is total height. So N1 is equal to H by 2. N1 is 450 by 2 is 225 mm. So calculation of FCD is from table number 10, IZZ and IYY. So KL by R times of web is thickness of web by root 12. Thickness of web is 9.4 by root 12, that is 2.71 mm. KL is equal to 0.7 times of L. See here, L is replaced with D. L is replaced with D. D we have already calculated. So you can calculate there as D. So KL is equal to 0.7 into 385.2. KL is 270 mm. KL by R minimum is 270 by 2.71 is equal to 100. So for 100, FCD is 180 Newton per mm square. So now FCDW is B1 plus N1, thickness of web, FCD 150 plus 225 into 9.4 into 180. So we get this value as for web with respect to the crippling failure, with respect to the buckling failure. Then check for deflection. I go to page number 29, working load 41 kN per meter. Don't take ultimate load here. For deflection, don't take ultimate load. So maximum deflection is 5WL4 by 384 x6. 5 into 41 into 6000 mm. 6 meters converted into mm. So 384 into 2 into 10 to the power of 5 into 30390.8. So IXX deflection is 11.38 mm. So effective span by 300, 6000 by 300 is 20 mm. So deflection criteria is coming as safe. So practice this formula, practice these problems. So next class we'll start laterally unsupported beams.